Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
Well, we are learning a lot. We've been able to get through 2,000 ballots a day, which is not going to get us towards our goal at that rate, but had we been able to continue without being stopped by the ACLU and then by the ACLU's challenge of the Secretary of State on our process, then we would have done just fine, because we lost 14 days in our process. So anytime you take 14 days out of process and then say finish it in 8 days, it's kind of a challenge. But what's great about this is that we've shown that you can produce 2,000 ballots a day. We had 13,000 mail ballots that we could have counted before Election Day. That would have put us at 65% complete by Election Day. Then with 7,500 additional ballots, we could have gotten those done in 3.5 days, I'm sorry. So we would have been done by last Saturday had we been allowed to progress like we had planned. But the real test is to compare our results to what the tabulator has produced. And I've checked over 12,000 votes, and we are at 99.89% accuracy relative to the machine. Then, when we look at why was those differences, a lot of them are because a human eye can see a vote that a machine does not. And according to the Secretary of State guidelines, anything inside that circle that's visible line is a vote, whereas the machines use a 5%. If 5% of the circle is filled in, it's considered a vote and is read by the machine. I'm guessing we're going to be around 80% complete. But when you take 14 days out of the process, I think that's a fantastically incredible result. I think we're pretty successful, and I think it shows that we can do it. Again, I have to analyze the data. We do have to pack up these ballots and get them stored by the time I certify on Friday. And so there's a hard deadline here. All these ballots are getting shipped up on Friday morning back to the clerk's office in Tonopah by the sheriff, going to deliver those, and they're going to be put in the vaults until the judge says take them out for a recount or other purposes. The important thing is we have data. We understand how accurate we can be. I would challenge anybody else to do the same thing that we've done in a short period of time, and it's just pretty miraculous what we've been able to accomplish. What did we learn through this process? Through the paper ballot process in the polls, we learned that you can use paper ballots in a controlled and effective environment and get good results on a timely basis. So there was no slowdown as a result of the paper ballot. We've also learned that you can do a hand count on an accurate level, and that most of the decisions are different because of the interpretation of a human versus a machine. And there's a lot to be learned from that. I also learned that we probably need another polling location in this town, because there's no reason why someone should have to wait in line for an hour to 2 hours to vote. I mean, we've grown as a community, and we have only one polling location for Pahrump. That's way too few. So I have a lot of plans for the next election to expand voting throughout the community, to get more people to vote nearer to where they live, and to reduce the burden on Election Day of people having to stand in the line. No one wants to stand in the rain, and nobody wants to get baked in the sun.